My name's Dr Richard Dunley. I am a lecturer in the School of Humanities and Social Sciences. I'm Associate Head of School for Undergraduate and Honours, and I'm going to be talking to you today going through the outline of the arts programme which we offer here at UNSW Canberra, explaining to you what it is that we cover and why it is that you may want to come and study with us here at UNSW. UNSW Canberra is something of a unique beast. It is a civilian university based within a military academy. Our job here is to offer you a liberal and balanced education as future leaders of the Australian Defence Force. And as I say, UNSW Canberra is that little bit unique. It has this mix of two very distinct cultures, that of the military academy and that of the civilian liberal university. And we believe that these two things come together here in this unique environment to offer you a truly sort of different experience in terms of your education and something that will set you up for your careers going forward. UNSW Canberra has a very long history, and UNSW has a very long history of working with defence in providing education and research over the past 50 years. And UNSW has worked very closely with defence to ensure that we have the best potential education environment for our students here. And one of the things that we can offer is the best staff to student ratio of anywhere in Australia, meaning that you're going to have the kind of relationship with the academic staff that simply isn't possible anywhere else. And this is one of the key reasons why we can offer this superb education as future ADF officers. Okay, so talking a little bit about social sciences, humanities, and sort of the arts degree more generally. So why study humanities and social sciences? Well, you'll probably have a look at some of the other recordings here from my colleagues in engineering and science, and they're going to explain to you how they offer you an understanding of the physical world. And I would always sort of joke with them that they've got the easy job. Because what we try to offer you in humanities and social sciences is an understanding of the human aspects of the world. This is across a broad range of different disciplines, from language to law, from history to business. And it's these disciplines which reveal why people interact in the way they do, and try to understand the difficult human questions that exist within our world and which sort of frame the physical, or framed by the physical world around us. So it's the social and human elements which is what we're exploring in a BA degree. So Bachelor of Arts at UNSW Canberra offers this very broad understanding of the world around you. We look at the sort of the past, and we look at what's going on now, and through that combination, we try to sort of set you up to think about what may be happening going forward and how we can understand the challenges that we're going to face into the future. In doing so, we'll also equip you with the skills that you need to do this. These are the analytical skills, so the ability to think and tackle problems, but also the communication skills that are necessary to not merely think about the problems, but then to explain them and discuss them with others around you. And this is what in the ADF is often referred to as sort of the intellectual edge. But it will provide you with skills that you need not merely in defence, but also for those of you that might go on to have a career beyond it. How do we do this? Well, we do this through sort of some pretty basic kind of methods, but things which you'll see will unpick many of the challenges around. So the most important thing we do is we constantly ask questions. We challenge the basic assumptions that people have about the world around them. Now, I can let you into a little secret right now that we're not going to provide you with the answers to many of the questions that we pose, for a simple reason that we can't. These questions are simply too complex for there to be individual simple answers to them. Instead, what we try to get you to do is to actually think through and engage with these questions, to evaluate the evidence on both sides, and to come up with your own potential answers to these problems. And in doing so, we not only give you a really deep understanding of the kind of challenges that we want you to explore, but we also equip you to continue doing this going forward, whether, as I say, that's in the military or elsewhere. And the other side of it is, of course, that we provide you with these communication skills. So this is the ability, whether it's working in tutorials with your peers, discussing things, trying to persuade, cogently argue your case, so as to persuade your peers of the sort of the righteousness of your argument, or in writing, the crucial skills that are required to be able to communicate effectively. And in doing so, this is how we hopefully equip our students for working in this complex and diverse world. Okay, so what are our actual offerings? What is it that you would do as part of a BA degree? So students will generally in the first year take courses in 4 subjects out of the 6 disciplines that we offer within the BA. At the end of the first year, you then choose to what's described as major, to focus on 2 of those subjects. So we are a BA which offers a so-called double major. So at the end of your degree, you will focus on 2 out of our 6 sort of disciplines. And these disciplines are spread across 3 schools. 4 of them are from my school, the School of Humanities and Social Sciences, and they are English and Media Studies, History, Indonesian Studies, and International and Political Studies. We then have Geography from the School of Science and Business from the School of Business. So what would you start to do if you were actually going to take one of these majors? Well, the first thing I guess to point out, which is one of the areas where UNSW Canberra is slightly unique, is that these disciplines are the kind of disciplines which you might find in universities across Australia. But we look at them generally with a slight defence and military slant. So even things like English and Media Studies, we definitely do cover the sort of the great literature and that side of things, but we also look at other things, so film, we look at media studies, we look at communications, even into things like propaganda and information warfare. And a lot of our courses do have this sort of military slant. So we offer courses in things like studies in media, war literature and film, heroism, banditry, manhood and popular culture, and Australian literature. These are the kinds of things that you might study if you took an English and Media Studies major. History, again, we do have this sort of focus, unique focus really within Australia on military history, but we also offer a broad range of other subjects covering political, diplomatic, social and cultural history. The kinds of courses that you might take if you took a history major include Australian military history, conflict in the Asia Pacific, insurgency and counterinsurgency, and the origins of modern warfare. Indonesian studies is slightly different from our other disciplines in that it's a language degree. So the key skill you get out of doing Indonesian studies is that you learn the Indonesian language. And so you have language courses at all 3 years of your study. In addition to that, you also learn something of the cultural and societal elements of Indonesia. And you can do courses in things like civil state military relations in Indonesia and Islam and the challenges of the modern world. As part of the Indonesian Studies program, there is also the opportunity to do an intensive language course in Indonesia. The final of our disciplines from the School of Humanities and Social Sciences is International and Political Studies. Again, we have quite a strong Australian and defence slant within this, but this looks across the broad fields of international relations and politics. And the kinds of courses you might cover include key political thinkers, politics of Australian security, politics of the United States, very interesting topic at the moment, and politics, the UN in global politics. Offerings from other schools include business, and as part of a business major, you could do courses in Australia in the world economy, leadership, business law, and illicit business in the modern world. And last but not least, we have geography, which is offered by the School of Science. And if you major in geography, you would do courses in social geography, coastal geography, cultural geography, and environmental hazards. Okay, so those are our major disciplines. In addition to this, if you were going to do a BA with us, you would also take what are referred to as electives. These are 4 courses on areas which the ADF feel they want to expose students to and future officers to at this stage. These are split into 2 areas, the general education courses, where you get to choose 2 courses out of 4, and the prescribed electives. So you can see the kinds of things you could do as a general elective are things like Introduction to Security Studies, Strategy, Management and Leadership, Law, Force and Legitimacy, or Introduction to Military Ethics. The 2 prescribed electives are Cybersecurity and the Fundamentals of Data Analysis. Okay, so what would this look like as an actual degree program? What would you end up actually doing? So the first point to sort of make is that we split our year up into 2 semesters, and you do 4 courses per semester. So you do 8 courses total per year. And in your first year, what you will do for sort of the majority of students will take 2 subjects in each of the 2 majors you select, or 2 disciplines you select to major in. You will then take, so 1 in first semester and 1 in second semester. So for example, if you were doing an English and Indonesian studies major, you would do 1 English course in first semester, 1 Indonesian course in first semester, and then the same again in second semester. You will then do 2 or 4 additional courses over the course of the year, 2 in semester 1 and 2 in semester 2. Now, we would generally recommend that students take 4 arts subjects, so you maybe do English, Indonesian, history and business. And then at the end of the first year, you can then decide what you want to major in. Because sometimes it happens that students come in thinking that they want to do one thing and then really enjoy other disciplines and decide to change. So the idea is you select your major at the end of the first year. The second year looks slightly different. Again, you have the same overall structure, so you do 4 courses in semester 1 and 4 courses in semester 2. But over the course of the year, you're really focusing on your 2 majors now. So you do 3 courses in your first major, 3 courses in your second major, and then 1 general elective and 1 prescribed elective. There can be a little bit of flexibility around this, but that's a pretty standard kind of a template for what you would do in year 2. And then year 3 looks much the same. You'll do also do 3 courses in each of your 2 majors, a general elective and a prescribed elective. But at year 3, you're beginning to push on and you start taking courses at the higher level, or you take a few more courses at the higher level. You need to get a certain number of credits in level 3 courses, but that kind of detail will come through once you start looking into a little bit more detail of the program. So overall, if we look at the BA double major, you'll see you do 2 courses in each of your majors in first year, and then you do 3 courses in second and third year. And you've got your 2 general electives and 2 prescribed electives, again, which are done in second and third year. So that gives you something of a sense of what it is that you'll be doing and how your degree might be structured. Entry requirements for the BA are pretty simple. We have a minimum ATAR of 75, and obviously we teach here in English, and so we that is the lingua franca, that's the language which we'll be using to teach. Okay, so why take a BA? Why do this? Well, hopefully you've already got some kind of idea from what I was talking about at the beginning. But I think the key points to make are that a BA provides you with the crucial skills that are required by an officer in the ADF. And these are, at heart, these are analytical skills. So the ability to think clearly and critically, the ability to find and assess what the relevant information is. In our current society, where we've got ever more information, there's ever more background noise, the ability to parse out, to separate out what really matters from that background noise is an ever more important skill. And that's one of the things that you'll learn from taking a BA here at UNSW Canberra. We also like to try and explore not merely the effects of things, but that deeper question of why something happens. Trying to explore the underlying principles of what's going on and why people behave in the way they do. That's a kind of fundamental principle which all subjects which we offer within our BA seek to try and achieve. And as I've said, we develop your communication skills, both written and verbal. Together, these things provide really important basic skills for anyone who's looking to be an officer in the ADF and provide a basis for leadership going forward. Relevance. Why does this matter? Well, I think that the point to make here is that defence teaches you the mechanics of how to do your job. So how are you going to fly a plane? How to navigate a ship? How are you going to command a unit in battle? What we seek to do is provide you with the knowledge and the skills that complement and fit around that and allow you eventually to go beyond the technical competence. So we're trying to get you to think independently and to communicate effectively. And ultimately, whilst at a junior level, a lot of what you're going to be doing is flying a plane, navigating a ship, once you get to a certain point, ultimately you are paid to think. And this is why ADFA as an institution exists. It's because the ADF recognises that it needs its future officers to have this kind of balanced liberal education, to have this ability to think independently. And this is what the ADF refers to as its intellectual edge. Okay, so what else might you get up to? As you can probably tell, you're going to be doing a lot of really exciting and interesting study whilst you're here at UNSW Canberra. There's a huge element of military training that goes along with this, so you're going to be kept nice and busy. But there are quite a lot of extracurricular activities and options around. Some of the examples are up here, so things like language programs, particularly around the Indonesian Studies program, the potential of exchange trips, and things like battlefield tours. So our staff have worked with students to run battlefield tours recently to Japan, and more recently still to Germany. And so you have experts going with you to these places, and you get to explore the history of what happened and then begin to apply this into sort of modern potential contexts. And you also get exposed to interesting cultures and places around the world. I look forward to seeing as many of you as possible here coming to study with us here at UNSW Canberra and coming to do a BA degree. If you have any questions, there will be a Q&A session. Details of that are going to be on the screen. But other than that, thank you very much for listening. And as I say, I hope we'll see as many of you as possible here.